confident on that one. Let's move to Arsenal because you and I over the years. I mean, we must be known each other now about 6 years. Grizz. It's crazy how time flies. But when Mikel Arteta was being rumoured with the job, we still had Emery. We were in Europa League finals. I think it was probably the year that we'd met, and then it got to the stage where Arteta come in, and I was just, I was like, I was ranting and raving. I weren't happy with how the club was run, and you just said, "Look, give it time, Dan." And I was like, I already had 20. It was 20 years now. It's 15 years at the time without a trophy. Um, Look, you told me that you felt confident that we would be up there at some point challenging. My question to you is your thoughts on Arsenal, the thoughts on Arsenal this season, and the potential pressure on Arteta to win something this year, man. Because that's the question I'm being asked quite a lot on this channel.
So you're right. I always thought very much like, and I know, I mean, we're not speaking about Chelsea right now, but I got the same vibes about Maresca, by the way. So
Oh,
yeah, I'm
that's the
sorry.
thing.
I've people tell you it's no longer Grizzteta, it's Grizzesca now.
Ah,
I just thought I'd break that. I just thought I'd break that. Right, breaking news. So look, and the reason why it's not Grizzteta anymore is because I think you're ahead of us in the process now. So I no longer can be a fanboy of Arteta. I think I've been proven totally right, and I'll take the plaudits and the flowers and everything. But now I'm of the opinion, and this is not bitterness. This is not just because they're better than you now or they're ahead of you now, whatever. No, this is real now. That I think he needs now, from this season onwards, needs to deliver. I was the first, and you know me. I was the most giving him time, Dan. Give him time. Trust me, I can see an identity. Even the time we thrashed you. Do you remember when he had that row with
oh yeah, Klopp.
touchline? Yeah, but before that, you lot played brilliantly against us. I thought, whoa, the pressing, the energy, and everything. I thought, I've never seen Arsenal like this. I saw the style that he was trying to implement, but he was naive. It was what I mean. You don't fuck with the Anfield crowd like that, and we ended up winning 4-0, I think, or 3-0, something like that.
Yeah, it was.
But from that time, I said, Dan, I see something in this guy. He's building you lot nicely. I can see football, man. I'm older than the majority of the people in our space, in our circles, and I've seen a lot of football. Shout out Lee Judges, he's seen more. The only one who's seen more. But oh, by the way, did you see me smash him in pool? Did you see that video going around in America? He came to America, and
I didn't see it, but I heard about this.
he came to America, came to our apartment. He thought, yeah, I can handle Grizz in pool. It's on camera. It's coming out soon in the vlog. Smashed him, but big up Lee.
Love that.
I saw the vision of Arsenal, but now it's got to a point. You've spent the money. He's built his squad. He's got rid of all the trash or the toxicity or the turbulence. He's got his players. He's been given more money to invest in Calafiori and Timber and Sterling and whatever other bits and bobs that you've bought. Marino. No excuses now, Dan. No excuses now, Arsenal fans.
Totally agree.
I'm sorry. I was of the opinion like, oh, calm down, because we get extremes in all fan bases where win, lose, or draw, people just love spitting into cameras and screens, right? That's fine. That's each to their own. But there's a time and a place for it. The 3-4 years that we've seen wasn't the time to spit and get angry and get in the screens and rant and rave. Now, if he doesn't deliver this season and the next couple of seasons, if he doesn't deliver, you have every right to be frustrated, angry, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Now he needs to prove that he's the guy to get you over the line. I think he's proven to be the guy to get you to the finishing line.
Yep.
I can't tell you if he's the guy to get you over the line. I don't think anyone can. He has to prove it now to get you over the line. I made you favourites for the Premier League at the start of the season, and people are like, oh, fuck, here we go, Grizz gaslighting. I was like, no, I mean it. I still make you favourites to win the Premier League. If you don't, I think it'll be a disappointment, Dan. And that sounds hypocritical and huge after me being a Liverpool fan, knowing how hard it is to beat this Man City. But this Man City ain't the Man City that we rolled with. This Man City now has injury situations, aging players, Carl Walker, Kevin De Bruyne, Silva, getting injured, Gundogan, all aging players, not the same.
Rodri out.
And Rodri out for the season is monumental. Don't let anyone tell you there's a more influential footballer on the face of this earth to any team than Rodri. You can have all your Neymars, Messi's, whatever, Ronaldo's, and blah, 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 blah. This guy is the most influential footballer on a club side in world football. And if Arsenal don't capitalize on that, and Liverpool fans will say, but what about us? What about us? Time will tell over the next 4 or 5 weeks if we can overcome these 4 or 5 league games. We could speak on Liverpool then, but Arsenal must capitalize on this and win a major. I don't even think a League Cup or FA Cup will do. You need to win one of the big boys because your progress has been such that you need to get over in the line with. Otherwise, all of that progress, all of those players, Saliba's the best in the world, Gabriel partnership, we've got the best right back in the world, we've got the best keeper in the world, we've got the best DM in the world, and Rice, we've got the best wingers in the world, Saka. Prove it now. When we had all those best players in the world, we won the Champions League, we won the Premier League, we won the FA Cup, the World Club Cup, everything. You name a trophy, we won it with all those best players in the world. You need to win it with all the best players, potentially the best players in the world. Until you don't, what's the point? What's the point of calling him this, calling him that, calling him this? You need to get over the line. I still think you will. It's a massive. Now the pressure is really on Dan. You ask me, what's the pressure? Is the pressure on him? I think there's huge pressure on him now. But it comes with the territory.
Bro, it's mad because spent most of this podcast talking about Liverpool. You saying I agree with everything you've said, and now we've gone to the Arsenal section, and I agree with everything you've said.
I know that's why we don't come on shows because it'd be boring. These days, shows are all about. Nah, you are. What are you saying? What do you mean? Fuck off. That's about it. Nobody likes shows where two fucking normal people are sitting there talking football like in a pub or a bar or a cafe, right? And agreeing and disagreeing. Nobody likes that anymore, innit? And I knew I'm going to agree with a lot of what you say. So it is what it is, man. But I mean it, man. I mean it. It's like that.
Look, I hear everything you're saying. I didn't have us down as favourites. Rodri injury, we must now. If he is injured if he is going to be missed as much as I believe, we must. What can't happen is if Man City don't win it and the winners aren't Arsenal. That would be an absolute categorical disaster. If it's a Liverpool or, dare I say it, another team that's going to come and do it, whoever it be. It must be us, man, if it isn't Man City. I'll say this. I personally believe Arteta has done a great job to get us challenging. I still have my doubts in game management moments. I still think there's moments where I think, why are you dropping Havertz again? We know it doesn't work. I still think there's moments where I think, why have we still not really sorted out our left-hand side in the 4.5 years? And why, for goodness sake, have you not bought a striker in your 4.5 years? But I feel like we are massively progressing and in a position now where I feel like we can get across the line, because I do feel that we've got the experience. We have now shown mentality. We've got a defensive structure, which does concede goals. We're not this Chelsea that we thought we were going to be, 15 goals conceded only a season. That was never probably going to happen again, in my opinion. But we're definitely showing in games that we've got some character, belief, and understanding of how to defend as a unit. You're right to say that Gabriel and Saliba is phenomenal. I know you've mentioned Van Dijk and Kenyatte. For me, those two are the best in Europe, not just in the Premier League. I think when you look,
if they're the best in the Premier League, they're the best in Europe, no doubt about it. I've said it. I've actually said it before, and people think I'm gassing. I'm not. I think you're the best defensive team in Europe, and I've said it. I said it on the watch along against Man City. I was so confident of that second half, for example, against Man City. Everyone was saying, "Oh, down to 10 men, we're going to get butchered." I said, "No, you're going to hold out." Obviously, they scored the last kick of the game. But
I was gutting.
That's how confident I was.
No, it was gutting to have that happen to us. But look, I mean, we've still got Ben White, Timber, Calafiori, Tomiyasu, all these guys coming and he's injured again. But you know what I'm saying? Defensively, we look good. That gives us a chance against anybody. And I'm talking about not just the Premier League, in Europe as well, which I believe we should be going to go in the deep stages of every competition. Personally, the only thing you said that I'm slightly aware of is I would actually respect the domestic cups a lot and believe that an FA Cup and a League Cup would, at least if we challenge and we go all the way and we have something to lift, I could say, do you know what? The guy's finally brought winning mentality to Arsenal, which is something we haven't seen with this group of players, and he gets another year. If we finish trophyless again, it's going to be a horrible conversation, because I keep mentioning the names Brendan Rodgers and Claudio Ranieri and, Man City's managers, and I'm not comparing them in terms of quality, right? If you believe that Arteta is better than the managers, cool, fine by me. But Claudio Ranieri couldn't win with Chelsea, but Jose could. Brendan Rodgers couldn't win with Liverpool, but Klopp could. And Mark Hughes wasn't be able to get anything going at Man City, but Mancini could. Why? Because all of them are managers that have a CV that says I can win. The others have a CV that says, nah, I'm not at that level. Mikel Arteta at the moment has not won anything with this current crop of players. He won with Emery's lot, but he hasn't won with this crop of players. And until he does that, I can't put Arsenal in favourites to do it because I just don't see yet the mentality to get across the line from manager or players. And that's why there's still the only doubt in my mind to believe that Manchester City will do it. If Manchester City can do without Rodri, which let's be real, Grizz, they have at the moment, I don't think it will last. They'll definitely miss him in certain games. But there definitely is going to be an ability for Klopp to do some. For Pep to do something because it's a madness what he can do with a double pivot of Kovacic and Gundogan or Bernardo or Stones, whatever he's going to do in there. He can make things work because he's a madman. But you're right. It's got to be this year that we're lifting something. I don't go by this narrative of the only reason Arsenal aren't winning under Arteta is because Pep's in town. That for me is nonsense because Klopp's won it, Conte's won it. League Cups and FA Cups have been won without Man City lifting it. We were in the Europa League, a competition that Pep wasn't in. We still didn't win it. That's nothing to do with Pep. We've got to look at ourselves. So when I look at the last 2 seasons, I would argue anybody who says that Man City won it and Arsenal did not throw it away. Because for me, the last 2 years, Arsenal should have beaten Villa, West Ham and Fulham at home. It was nothing to do with the Man City game, drawing at the Etihad. Load of nonsense, yeah? Season before that, we lost to Man City home and away. But you know what? We beat West Ham and Liverpool in those crazy games. I think it was Southampton as well, the 3 in a row. We win that league and we can still lose to Man City home and away. So I look at ourselves, I look at Arteta's in-game management, and I think there was more you needed to do there and you need to learn this season because that's why I have my doubts and I still have my doubts. And people have said before to me, oh, you just hate Arteta. This ain't about Arteta, man. This ain't a hate thing, right? I love the football club. In 20 or 30 years' time, he won't be here and I will still be, hopefully, on this earth supporting Arsenal and he won't be around because it's Arsenal FC, not Arteta FC. So I don't care who the manager is, Grizz. If I said to you now, Liverpool are going to win another 5 Premier League titles in the next 10 years, would your question be, but who's the manager going to be, Dan? You're not going to give a damn. You don't care. You're going to be doing that 5 times. Who gives a damn? So that's where I'm at, man. Get me across the line or there'll be horrible questions to have to ask come the end of this season. There will be. And I don't want to have them questions, man. Look, I think we can do it. I think it's a Champions League, a Premier League. Look, I'm greedy, give me both, but I've got to be realistic at the same time. Win one of those 2, and my God, you will be able to stare anybody in the eye and go, told you so. Told you so.
100%. And the way he's done it, you were in the doldrums, very much like Liverpool and Klopp. We finished 8th or something when he first came in or something. We lost 6-1 to Stoke on the last day of the season, blah, 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 blah. So fair play to him if he does it. He has to do it though now. No more talking, as you said.
Facts, no more.
All of that build up, all of that team camaraderie, all of that feel-good factor. Everything's back at the Emirates.
Yeah.
Now you need to show the end result of that. And the end result of that is a major. Simple.